everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Research Made Easy. In our last video, we have learned how to clean, organize, and code your data. Now it's time to take the next big step, that is, entering your data into SPSS. SPSS is one of the most widely used software tools for analyzing research data. Today, I'll show you exactly how to enter your variables, define them properly, and input your data step by step, even if you have never used SPSS before. Let's get started. When you will code your data, it will appear like this. This is the clean, organized data converted into the coding. Now open your SPSS. When you will open your SPSS, it would look like this. You have to select New Data Set. When you will select New Data Set, this will appear. Now you can see here are two views. One is the variable view, other is the data view. The variable view is used to enter the variables and the data view is used to enter the data. First, we will discuss about variable view. In variable view, you have to enter your variables. Every question of your questionnaire are your variables. For example, your first question is gender. You have to write here gender. The thing to keep in mind is you can't give space in this column. So if you want to write the whole question, you have to write it in the label. That is, identify the gender or what is your gender. You can simply write gender. But if you want to write the full question by giving the space, you can write it in the labels. The column 2 is the type. Here you have to identify what is the type of the data. If you want to enter the data in the numerical form, that is in the number, as we have used the coding, you will select numeric. But if in some case you want to add the data alphabetically, you have to select string. And OK. Then you have to assign the values. We will assign value 1 to male, add, and we will assign value 2 to female. This is according to your questionnaire. If you have any option 3, you can also add that. And when you have added that, you can select OK. Then you have to select the measures. As you can see here, there are 3 measures. One is the scale, other is the ordinal, and the third is the nominal. Now you have to identify what type of measures each variable have. The scale is used for those data which have the data in the numerical form, that is in the form of the numbers. For example, if you have asked the participant about their age and they have written the age in the form of the numbers like 21 or 22, you can write it as scale. Let's discuss it here. If the participant has written age like 22, 23, 24, you have written is open, you can write it as scale. The next are the ordinals. Now what is the ordinal? Ordinal is used for the ranks. Ordinal means order, like in what order your data is written. Like if you have something as high, medium or low, this is an order. Low, medium, high. This is the order. Or if is any rank in the education like middle school, higher secondary school, university, you can say that this is in the order. And in the last come the nominals. Nominal is for the categories which are not defined, like the gender, like the male and the female. So for the categories, we will select nominal. Now, as we are writing for the gender, we know that there are two different categories. It's not in the order, it's not in the scale form, so we will select nominal. In this way, you will write your variables one by one. Then you will write age if age is your next variable, and these all are according to your questionnaire. Please put your questionnaire or your performer in front of you while writing these variables. You have to write one by one accordingly. And the age is in the numeric, and you can write the whole question here, what is your age? Or you can just write the age. If you have remained it the open question in the scalar form and the participant can write their age freely, you can just ignore it like this. But if you have assigned the values, then please fill this column. Like if you have assigned the value 1 for the age 20 to 30, you can write it as this, and value 2 for 31 to 40. It's according to your questionnaire, your inclusion criteria, what participants you have added. And the value 3 for 41 to 50, it's all depends on you how many categories you have made and add. If you have done any mistake, you can just select something and you can remove it. And you have to select OK. Now, this is a nominal scale. If we talk about any ordinal scale, like for example, if you're talking about the stages of cancer, we have written stages of cancer. We can't give space here, so you can write directly or you can write by putting any symbol in between. Stages of cancer is also will be in the numeric form, and in the label you can write the whole question or you can just write the stages of cancer. Here you can give the space between words. Now if we have written the value 1 for the label is stage 1 and add the value 2 for stage 2, value 3 for stage 3, value 4 for stage 4. Now you can see here this is an order, like 1 represents something that is the lowest and 4 represents something that is the highest. This is the order. So this is the ordinal scale and we will select it as ordinal. So in this way you will create your variables. This is your variable view. Now when you click the data view, you will see that the variables which you have created horizontally will appear here vertically. And these 1 to 3 are representing your each participant. Here the data will be appear of your each participant. Now you will enter the data here. If your data is in your hard copy and you have to enter the data manually and it is not in your Excel sheet, you can just directly type it here in the form of the numbers like 1 and 2 for the male and the female. But if your data is in the Excel sheet and you want to copy it from here, from there, you can also copy it. If you want to copy a single data, like I want to copy this gender column, I will select it and I will press Ctrl plus C for the copy, or I can just simply press on the copy and I will go in my SPSS sheet and I will press Ctrl plus V, that is for paste, and my data will get pasted here. One thing to keep in mind, you can see in the first column here appearing 0, 0. It's not any data. You can see here in the Excel sheet, the first is the heading, that is the gender. What we can do is we can clear it so it will be removed. And our remaining data will get sorted. The one value is 2 and you can recheck it. The value is 2 for the first participant. You can also select multiple columns, like select this and you can press Control and you can select remaining column and you can paste it into your SPSS sheet. If you want to paste the one column or you want to paste the entire sheet, you can do that. But keep in mind, as we have removed the first row, when you will paste the data, you can see here, oh sorry, this is also for the age. Copy the remaining data and paste it in the Excel. I am just telling you here we will get the one mistake. Control plus V and your data will get pasted. We have not created the variables and we are just pasting the data. Okay, you have to keep in mind when pasting the data that the variables you have created, you have to enter their values beneath them. I'm just showing you how to enter the data, so that's why I'm just pasting it here. Now you can see here there are same mistake. So if you're copy pasting it, firstly add all the data if there appearing any problem in the Excel sheet, and then you can hold remove your first row to avoid any error. If in this case I'll remove my first row, what will happen that the first participant of a gender will get shuffled and it will get removed, and all the participants, the gender for all the participants will get changed. So to keep in mind that we have to first enter all the data and then we can remove one row from the top, so the first row will get removed. Okay, this is the way in which you can copy paste your data. You can also do that if you don't want this to happen. You can just delete this row and then you can copy paste it. In this way, the data will directly be pasted and you can't face the problem of values appearing 00 in the first row. Also, you can select the data according to your need, how much data you want, and you can just copy it and paste it there. The only thing to keep in mind, please recheck the headings under which the data is getting pasted. Now we have removed the headings and you can't see what the data is for. So it's important to keep the heading and place the data, and you can remove the first row that appears 00. This is the one way you can paste your data. Either you can type it or you can paste it from your Excel sheets. But these two are very hectic ways. Now I'll show you a way in which you can directly paste your data from the Excel sheets and you don't have to create the variables separately. It will appear in the new file. So what you have to do is you have to go into the files and open, and you have to select data. Now browse where your data is. My data is present here. But you can see here, you can't see any Excel file here. What's the problem is, what you will always do is there is written files of type. You have to select it and select the Excel so that all the Excel file will appear here. Now select the file which is your clean coded file you want to import into the SPSS. I'll select this. This is my clean file, and you will see that a table will appear, and please tick this read variable name from the first row of data and select OK. When you will select this, a new tab will appear and you can see here all my data from the Excel sheet is imported into the SPSS. And you don't have to create the variables here. You will see that all the variables from the Excel file are directly imported here in the name section. If you want to add the full questions, you can write it in the labels. As you can see, that label is empty. SPSS can't read the whole label. It is just creating the headings and name it under the name column. So you can write the labels here, that is the gender, or if you want to write the whole question, you can write it there. For example, this is the first question of my questionnaire of a scale. So you can write here the all the question, like the whole question, or you can just write the DHL one. So give labels to all questionnaire. Please don't leave it blank when you will do the analysis. It's very important because that label mark will appear in your analysis. So please don't leave it blank and fill all these labels. Write age for age, or you can write what is your age and what is your education, or you can simply write the short form. It's up to you. Now when you import the data here, you can see that the SPSS can't assign values by itself, so you have to assign the values. Please check your questionnaire and see what your values are and assign here. Like for the gender, there's value 1 for the male and value 2 for the female. Same we have entered before. You have to enter the values one by one. 2 for the female and add an OK. Same for all the variables, you have to enter the value one by one. But for those variables which have the same value, you can copy paste it. Like we can see here, the questions that have the Likert scale, almost all the questions have the same options. Like you can see that DHL1 to DHL8, these are all on the Likert scale and these all have the same options. So I can copy paste it. I can write and the options which are in the table. For example, the one is for the agree. I write here agree, and 2 for the neutral. It's a 5-point Likert scale. To show you, I'm just writing it as a 3-point, but actually it's a 5 point. You can't decide it yourself. You have to write what's the actual numbering is. I'm just showing you. That's why I'm just writing the 3 and disagree. And you can just add it and OK. When you have assigned the values, what you can do is press it and press Ctrl plus C. That is for the copying it. And then where you want to paste, just select Ctrl plus V, and you don't have to write again and again, and options will get pasted automatically. For all those which have the same option, you can do the same procedure and it will get pasted. Now select the measures for which it is written wrong. You can change. Like for the Likert scale, we can, it's an type of the order, so we can change it to the ordinal. So check your whole data after importing. If there are any mistake, you can correct it. Design whole your variable file and check if there is any missing data or any, you can see any error in the data. Please check that. As you can see here, all the data has been entered, and you just need to write the labels, and you have to assign the values, and you have to check the measures. Otherwise all the data is automatically entered. Now save your file. It's very important to save your file, so you can just select Ctrl plus S, or you can go into the file and select on save as, and save it in the way you can remember what you have saved in the proper way. I can write it as DHL SPSS final data, what is convenient for you, and just save it, and your file will get saved. That's all for today. You have entered all your data into the SPSS. If you have any questions, any queries, please feel free to ask. You can write it in the comment section and I will reply you. And that's all for today. See you in the next video.